Hello, I'm here to describe how my LED oscillator operates and what it does and how each component works. Parts list needed for this project are 2 LEDs, 2 10K ohm resistors, 2 470 ohm resistors, 2 100 unifarad capacitors, otherwise known as microfarads, 2 2N3904 transistors, about 6 jumper wires, 1 9-volt battery, a breadboard power supply, and a battery connector. Here is the schematic diagram where we have direct current coming through the transistors right here and here. Those are the NPN 2N3904 transistors. Then those run into your capacitors, where the capacitors act like power supplies for each of the LEDs. And then as the power passes through the LEDs into the resistors, your 10K ohm resistor here and your 470 ohm resistor here, they prevent the overload of the LEDs when the cycle is completed and run back to the power supply. This oscillation requires the load to bounce between the two LEDs, and which is why the transistors are run in a parallel form to allow two identical circuits to continuously bounce back and forth until power is removed from the circuit. Here are a couple pictures of the circuit after it was placed into the breadboard. Not incredibly complex, but definitely took a bit of tinkering to get everything to work. And here's a video of the circuit operating. And you can see as I switch on the power, the LEDs immediately power on and will continue to bounce back and forth until I power it off. Then I'll run it one more time to demonstrate it again. And I chose this project to see if I had learned enough to create a complete working circuit with LEDs. I chose to use LEDs because, to me, that is a direct form of finding out if your circuit will operate or not. I learned that the polarity of everything, including the LEDs and capacitors, is incredibly important. The schematic that I drew up seems to be what worked best for me, though through some research, I found out that you can use slightly different resistors and get the same results. Instead of using 470, you could probably get away with using 330, but what I found worked best was these. I tried about 10 different orientations of this circuit before I found this one that worked. This project was very rewarding, and finding out that I could complete it in the end was well worth the frustrations throughout it. Thank you.